This is our country, this is our land, And so I think our presence is really important. But it's not just our presence, right? It's also our way of thinking, our way of being, right? That we don't just want to go in there and adapt to what they have to give us, right? We have to go in there and give our ideas and impose our way of being and our way of doing things, right? Redefine it, completely change the structure, right? So I think it's really important for us to, I'm going to tell you this much, I don't think it ever feels comfortable for me. I think I find myself doing a lot of code switching, right? And we have to, right? Like there's a way I act sometimes in the classroom, or as a professor, for example, I have to kind of put a certain kind of comportment when I'm out there and I'm, teaching my students, and then every once in a while I come out, right? It's me, and they laugh and they think I'm whatever funny or whatever. And but I feel like that's important for me, right? And my health, to know that I'm here and I'm sane, and But I try not to let it que no me hunda, Try not to let it make me feel like I'm less than. I'm always having to convince myself to. I mean, I don't think it ever stops. Unfortunately, I wish I had a solution for you. Pero sabes que, like the more I'm there, and the more I exist, and I find the different spaces where I feel like, fuck yeah, I belong here, and I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna walk through, and I'm gonna wear my bright red lipstick, and walk through campus, and I'm gonna, however I want to dress, I'm gonna dress that way, and I'm gonna be present. I'm here, and I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to adapt. I'm not really trying to, But there are moments where I'm talking to certain, faculty or deans or whatever, where I find myself kind of like, not really adapting necessarily, but just sort of like letting them know, like, let me tell you something that happened recently. And I thought, wow, the college that I'm in, it's going really well, I think they're happy to have me. I feel like I have a lot of support. I'm in the Intercollegiate Chicano-Latino Studies department. I was hired by Scripps, but I'm the first tenured line for the department. And so I'm sitting there, and and it was the end of the last year, and I was at all the deans were getting together, and they wanted to invite all new faculty. So I'm one of the new hires. So I get there, and and I'm like, oh, it's at the end of the semester. My grades were in, and so we're there. We had wine and cheese, bread. I'm gonna end up an alcoholic. I'm super big, but anyhow. So then I'm sitting there, right, and then some dean goes around, and she's like, hi, introducing herself, and then she comes up to me. She's all, hi, I'm the dean for blah blah blah. I'm not gonna say where she's from. Let me guess, you're a Spanish teacher. And I was like, actually, no, I'm a physics instructor. And she looks at me, she's like, well, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm in the Intercollegiate Chicano-Latino Studies. For a minute there, I felt like I had to reflect. I'm like, you just said some pretty racist shit right there. Like, you think you're being familiar with me, pero, you know what I mean? It's sort of like something, but anyhow, to my students, to the faculty, to the way, like, I'm always having to sort of kind of put on an armor. I make myself feel comfortable. I make my office feel a certain way. But I also look for community, right? And this is another thing. Be present at UCLA, but also be present in your community. Because if it wasn't for me building a community outside of academia and knowing that there's a real world out there, right? Que hay otras cosas más importantes que es la institución, muchas de las veces, right? That I think that if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have stayed sane. And it's easy to just get swallowed up and say, okay, yeah, I'll do what you want me to do, It's like really simple to do that. So I think keep what you're doing, the border consciousness, you're shifting, you're doing, and I think that's important to do, but then also get into academia and change the structure, change the way shit's done, redefine it, put in new theories. We need to get out there, and thinkers like us, and what we come from, have to get out there and produce knowledge that's on the ground, that's not just up here in theory, like we know what's up, we've lived it, because we've lived it.